Horoscope for Pisces, Saturday, 9 May 2026. Welcome to CosmologicaLab. You feel that pressure in the air, Pisces. As if the cosmos were holding its breath, preparing for a deep sigh or for a sudden storm. It's not a tension that should scare you, but one that invites you to stop and observe. Today, the sky does not offer you a clear highway, but a path of curved paths, where each turn requires your sharpest intuition. There is a necessary friction in the environment, a dance between the light of the sun and the shadow of the moon that forces you to ask yourself where your desire ends and where your responsibility begins. That atmosphere of impending change is also reflected in your own essence. As there are no planets directly passing through your identity today, your body feels like a calm ocean before the high tide. Being Pisces, your vitality today does not depend on an external impulse, but on your ability to flow. You can feel a little more ethereal, as if your physical boundaries were blurred, inviting you to an almost magical sensitivity, but also to a sensitivity that requires you to take care of yourself. It is a day to inhabit your skin softly, without demands, allowing your energy to move to the rhythm of your dreams. Taking this energy to the ground of material and stability, the panorama becomes more complex and requires all your attention. In the area of your resources, you feel an important weight. The presence of Mars, Saturn, and Neptune in your area of finance creates a very intense mix of forces. It's like you're trying to advance through a terrain where, on the one hand, you feel the urgency of acting and spending, on the other hand, the firm hand of responsibility that tells you waits and builds, and suddenly, a haze of uncertainty makes you doubt your own calculations. Imagine that you are reviewing your bank application or an outstanding bill. You can feel a small knot in your stomach, a mixture of anxiety for the future and the need to put order. Saturn asks you to be the architect of your savings, not to ignore the small expenses that seem insignificant, but that erode your structure. However, Neptune's energy could make you feel confused about where to direct your investment. Don't make impulsive decisions today. Libra's presence in your area of shared resources suggests that any movement involving debts, loans, or money with others should be made with exquisite diplomacy. This is not a time for confrontation, but a time for seeking balanced agreements. On your professional horizon, Sagittarius energy pushes you to look away, to dream of great projects, but remember that to reach that peak, you must first secure the foundations of your current economy. If we look now towards your well-being and the structure of your days, the key is in the discipline that is born of self-love. Even if there are no planets moving your vitality directly, Leo's sign in your area of routines sends you a clear message. Your body needs to feel dignified. It's not just about eating or sleeping, but creating rituals that make you feel special. Perhaps today you feel the need to transform your morning routine, not just to wake up, but to be reborn with a breakfast that is a small feast for your senses. Mars energy in the sky reminds you that action is necessary, but being in your financial zone, that energy could be draining your vitality if you don't channel it. It avoids exhaustion due to excess material concerns. A small habit, such as preparing your clothes the night before or devoting 10 minutes to a conscious stretching, may be the anchor you need for Leo's energy to give you the strength to maintain your discipline without feeling that it is a burden. Treat your body like a temple that deserves order and beauty. If we go into the garden of your affections, you will find a fascinating contrast. On the one hand, there is a comforting warmth. Venus in your home invites you to seek refuge in the known, in the aroma of your own home, in the security of a hug, or in the peace of a quiet corner. It is an ideal time to decorate a space, or simply to enjoy the company of those who make you feel safe. But at the same time, Jupiter in your area of joy and romance pushes you to expand, to play, to allow creativity to flourish. It's like your heart wants to stay on the couch, but your spirit wants to go dancing. However, not everything is soft. Virgo's presence in your area of relationships with others asks you for a more analytical look. You might find yourself in a conversation with someone close to you where, suddenly, you notice that you notice too much about your little mistakes, or maybe you become too critical of yourself with your partner or friends. This tension between the desire for harmony and the tendency to criticism can generate a small criminacy in communication. If you receive a text message that seems too dry or distant, don't assume the worst. It's just Virgo's energy asking you to review the details. In your friendships, Capricorn's influence calls for maturity. It is a time to strengthen ties with people who bring you structure and shared goals, moving you away from relationships that are only noise. On the plane of your thoughts and your spiritual evolution, the sky is truly vibrant, almost electric. You have an amazing concentration of energy in your area of communication and learning. With the Sun, Mercury, and Uranus passing through your area of mind, your brain is like a radio tuning multiple frequencies at once. You can experience that sudden mental click, a brilliant idea that arises as you shower or as you walk down the street, an epiphany that seems to come from another world. But be careful, with so much activity, you can also feel an overload of information, as if you had too many tabs open in your mind's browser, which could lead to intellectual anxiety. This mental agitation balances with an almost mystical depth in your unconscious. The Moon and Pluto in your hidden area are leading you to navigate deep waters. There are truths that are emerging from your shadow, dreams that become so vivid that they seem realities. Do not ignore those dreams, they are messages of your inner wisdom. The energy of Scorpio in your area of higher education or philosophy invites you to investigate what others fear to look at. You are in a process of profound mental transformation, where what you once thought you knew is being questioned to give way to a much more powerful and authentic understanding. It's a time of great spiritual growth, as long as you don't get lost in the maze of your own thoughts. If today you feel you need to do a ritual, I propose attention alchemy, to transmute that pressure that you feel in clarity and relief. Because of the presence of Mercury and the tension of the current squares, we need to release the mental burden and irritation. Find a small piece of paper and a pen. Take a moment of solitude, preferably in a quiet place in your house. Write on that paper all the worries, the criticisms you've received, or those little irritations that have haunted your head during the day. Don't hold back, let your hand flow. Once you've overturned everything, visualize how a bright white light descends on the paper, wrapping each word and dissolving the density of that emotion. Then, break the paper into very small pieces, almost as if it were dust, and throw it away in the trash, symbolizing that that charge no longer has power over you. Finally, go to the wash basin and wash your hands with cold water and some soap, imagining that the water drags any residue of that tension, leaving your skin and spirit clean and renewed. To accompany your mental energy today, I propose light blue or mint green. These tones will help calm the storm of ideas and bring a sense of freshness and clarity to your overburdened mind. You don't need to buy anything new. If you have a mobile cover of this color, a notebook, or even if you can wear a discreet garment in this tone, do it. If you have a wallpaper that evokes these colors, it will be a constant visual anchor for your tranquility. Remember that the important thing is not the object itself, but the intention to seek serenity in the midst of the movement. Today, you will discover that within each challenge lies the seed of a new fortress. Trust your ability to navigate uncertainty, because even in the most agitated waters, your inner compass always knows how to find the way to calm. Have a nice day, dear Pisces. Subscribe to CosmologicaLab so you don't miss the next video. Give it a like if it resonated with you, and let us know in the comments what you thought. See you in the next video.